Hi everybody. So today we're trying a new place. We didn't even know about this place today, found out about it online. Here it says Bonneville Glen, but it's supposed to be a Miller Bird Refuge. So
I think that might be behind.
yeah.
Well, we're going exploring today and we're inviting you to join us. So where is this at, Jeff? Just give a brief how to get here.
This is a little bit south of the University of Utah, off from 15th East and 1700 South, roughly.
Whoa, look at this. Oh my gosh. Look how fun this looks. All kinds of people are here enjoying. We heard tomorrow it's supposed to get cold. It's Saturday right now and it's supposed to be rainy tomorrow. So we wanted to get out and do our walking today in case we can't go out tomorrow. Oh, look at all these people here, Jeff. How much fun.
People taking pictures.
Ah, what a good place. Let me look down here. Oh, should we go this way, Jeff? Look what we have here, another bridge. Yeah, this little spot here, we don't know what the bird place is, the Miller Bird Refuge is going to be like. But this little place down here is really worthwhile, isn't it? You can come here with a picnic with your kids. There's just a little bit of water in the pond, so it's not dangerous, or not the pond, but the little stream. So it's not dangerous. Look at this. Oh. Wowee. Hello. Here we are on a nice little bridge here. This is so wonderful. I'm so glad we came, Jeff.
So the trail crosses the bridge here and then it goes up one side, so it's going to go up one side and then loop and then come back down the other side. Okay, so in a previous edition that we did, we talked about stories, right?
Yes.
And
it was by the pond.
Yeah. So
yeah, the one by the pond.
We shared that stories become a defining part of your life, and that your interpretation of those stories can actually impact you for years to come.
Yes, that is so true. So I thought, hello. So I thought I just had, I put away something that I made earlier today, and then it reminded me of when I was this little girl. So we will bring up, just hold it up here a little bit more, not down. No, just, okay. Anyway.
This is her story, so I'm featuring her.
Okay. Anyway, so the thing about stories is our mind is always making up stories. And you can kind of see, so he's going to kind of put it around sometimes and turn it around so you can see where we're walking. Oh, sure, to turn it around that way so they can see this little, it's kind of fun. It's a mystery. Kind of like you never know what's around the corner in life, right? Kind of exciting to be in a mystery. But anyway, so when I was between 10 and 12 years old, the hippie group, the hippie generation, Woodstock was going on, right?
1969.
Okay, so around that time, I was starting to develop some talents with crocheting. The sun is in our way. We are getting some sun here.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Anyway, so around that time I was developing some talents with crocheting. Anyway, so we turn it this way so you can see. But, so a neighbor she was an older lady and she crocheted all the time. And my girlfriends and I were really interested in learning how to crochet. And so we learned how to do simple things like some kind of quilt, just crocheting lap stitches or hook stitches. So my girlfriends and I, we learned, and so guess what I made? I made a poncho. so you can see. Look at this bridge. We got another bridge coming up here. Anyway, so I made this poncho and it was green. Green's my favorite color. It was various shades of green. And I was so excited about my talent. So I was so excited to show my family my poncho. And I came in, and my dad, who loves me fiercely, who wanted me to grow up to be the best I could be, of course, his mind had a story when he saw my poncho. He thought that I looked like a hippie, or I might grow up to be a hippie. I don't know. But he said, "Oh, Christine, it looks like you're a hippie. It looks like what you're wearing is a hippie. You're like a hippie." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Isn't that interesting? So our minds make up stories about situations. That didn't have anything to do with me, my processes, my frame of mind, nothing. It had to do with me creating something of value. And he misunderstood that. And that's how stories are. That's how they get in and make wedges in personalities and wedges in relationships. Okay, so here I am by some more living water. Anyway, so another thing that happened when I was young is I used to have really, really blonde hair, white blonde hair. And I had a girlfriend who had an older sister, so she knew a lot more about what's going on in the world. And so one day my friend, she noticed my legs. Anyway, so my friend said, "Christine, you have really hairy legs." I think I was in 6th grade. And I said, "I do?" She said, "Yeah, I know how to shave them." I said, "Oh, that's great." So she went up, she was so happy. She went up to her house because her older sister showed her what to do with her legs, right? And so her older sister, so she came back with some lather and some, what are they called? What are they called, Jeff?
A blade.
Razor blades. Every now and then my mind goes blank. Anyway, so she came up and so she shaved my legs and they felt so soft and they were so nice. And I don't know how my dad noticed, but he noticed and he said, "Christine, what happened to you?" And I said, "Well, my friend, she shaved my legs," and he was angry. "Come on, let's walk." And so I'll tell you about what I think his story was. I'm not sure, but I think his story was, so my father grew up in Norway, and maybe they were more natural there, and maybe he felt that girls who were promiscuous had shaved legs. I don't know what his story was, but he had one. And it wasn't my story at all. It was his story. So parents, what story are you creating around your children that might not be true? It might be your story that you're projecting onto them. Classic case of projection, right? Anyway, stories are powerful. We gotta learn to question our thinking. Look how beautiful. We are enjoying this. All along our walk here is a little creek. Come here with your family. They will love this. And it's not hard at all. My goodness, if I can do it and Jeff can do it, anybody can, right? Except a wheelchair person. Oh, so talking about preschool, I had one little girl who had a story in her mind, and I want to share that. So, you know how, well, she told me, "Miss Christine, did you know my grandma died?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I said, "Tell me about it." She said, "Well, she's a zombie now." And I guess their family watched zombie movies. So her mind says, well, when you die, you're a zombie. Because that's what she saw. And that's how the mind works on an elemental level, right? And so that was pretty funny. And I told her mom, and she said, "Oh my goodness, I'll talk to her about it." And I said, "Great, I'm glad, I hope you do."
Story. So, you know, kids today, they wear the holiest of pants ever. I mean, you know, like the fronts will be all torn out and so on, and they buy them that way, right?
Yes,
And
of course,
that's
cool.
a cool thing. So I remember when I was a kid, and I had some pants that were a little bit tattered. Not as bad as that was, but it was like the back pockets and so on, you know. And one was getting a little bit worn, way more comfortable than what my mother was with it. So as I was going out one day wearing those pants, she wanted to stop me from ever wearing them again. So she reached over, grabbed the pocket, and just ripped them. So I couldn't wear them again.
Okay.
Because she thought they looked shabby.
They looked shabby?
Yeah.
Were
They didn't look anywhere
corduroys?
near like
Were they
the
Levi's?
styles the kids wear today.
I think it has to do with
They were
also the
jeans.
material.
They were a jean.
And had they just barely started wearing jeans, and your dad grew up thinking what?
Well,
About
I had
jeans.
been wearing them for a long time because that's when I was in high school. But he did not want to buy jeans when I was in elementary school.
Why? Tell him why.
Well, because
He had a story about what it meant.
Yeah, he thought that
We're going
more
upstairs
dressy
now.
tight pants
Hold a minute.
was
I think we got to finish this. There's steps here.
was more respectable. And so one day I just dug my heels in and said, I'm not going to school unless I can wear jeans to school. And I'm not going to talk about the experience that followed that. But anyway,
well, you had to gain your independence.
It was a big deal.
A big deal.
And I did gain my independence when they started buying jeans for me. Levi's.
Levi's, yes. There was a time when I was in school, Jeff, when we had to wear dresses.
Yeah.
And I remember we're like, oh, we get to wear pants now. We've been liberated.
Disagreements a little bit.
About what?
Disagreements.
Oh, disagreements, yeah.
Yeah.
We never have them, right, Jeff? Oh, in case you guys think in our 40 years it's been just, what, a fairy tale ending? No, sorry.
Fairy tale ride. Smooth ride.
It's been a roller coaster, just like anybody else. That's part of the journey, right?
Yep.
Learning how to get along.
Yeah, so as you go through life and you just have issues that come up, like now we talk a lot about political issues. It means a lot to us, right?
Yes, it does.
And sometimes in those conversations, she thinks I'm saying one thing when I'm not really. Not saying, I'm thinking something different, and vice versa.
Yes.
Right?
But
So,
we catch it a lot.
Yeah.
And I say, wait a minute, do you think I'm saying this, Jeff? I say, no, I'm not saying that at all. You misunderstood you're misunderstanding me. Let me turn this around, Jeff. I want them to see. Yeah. Anyway, I had never done it. Had you been river rafting before? Maybe scouts or something?
Yes, I had, but not on a really white water river.
Okay, well, it was at Jackson Hole, right? No, where was it the first time
The
I went?
Snake River south of Jackson.
Snake River. And I was like, oh, my mind was so scaring me. It was, see up like that, we can see better. Everybody can see around a little more. Anyway, so yeah, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be so scary. Oh, I don't know if I dare to do it. And my mind was like freaking me out. And in an earlier video, the one about Tony Robbins, I shared that an experience that my spirit is not afraid. And so if mine isn't, that probably means yours isn't. But anyway, so we put on these wetsuits and we were on, and I was like, oh no. And I found out that I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I had no clue. And then there was a spot, was it that one or another one, where it was more mellow, and I'm like, wow, I'm kind of bored. I had no clue. No clue that I had that adventurous me in there. This little scared kid. I was really shy as a kid. You wouldn't believe that. I totally was. I guess I've been, all the thousands of dollars I put into work on myself, I think it's paid off.
So this is just a tree we're walking by, but it was really interesting to see these nodules that have grown in the bark.
Oh, yes.
Not sure what causes that, but it's really a cool effect.
Yes. Well, I guess if we could make a parallel here, but let's say that life is our tree, And the little nodules, what could they represent?
Warts.
Warts? Big stories. Big stories that get clumped up on our tree of life. And our own tree of life. Well, I like the tree of life symbology, but in our own life, it can get, these stories can really, really, they can cause you to get divorced. Absolutely, without question. So it's important to learn to question your narrative, question your thinking. And of course, my favorite woman to teach that is Byron Katie. I love her work. To question your thinking. Even on the way up, we had some stories going on, and I said, wait a minute, you think that's what you think I said? Nope, that's not what I meant. Milkweeds up here. You guys remember seeing milkweeds? Oh, here are some. Oh, they're opened up. They're all opened. So as a little girl, they were all over in the fields that I was in. As a little girl. My aunt watched me and my sister, and they had milkweeds all over in their pastures. I haven't seen milkweeds forever. They're not around very much anymore. There you go. Okay, so when I went up to college, my first year was at Utah State. And I was the oldest daughter, and so my dad had never let his daughter go to college. And so on our way up to college, and when he dropped me off to college, he said, now Christine, I don't want you to be kissing all the boys up here. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And I really got my feelings hurt. And my mom said, Gusta, what are you doing? Why are you saying that? You know? And it was his way of loving me. His way of wanting me to be the best I could be and not be hurt. Because he didn't want me to get hurt. You know? And so these stories are really impactful. So I encourage you as you raise your beautiful children, wonder if some of the stories you're creating about what it all means is really true. Okay?
Great
and I know
story.
my dad wants me to share it. I absolutely, positively know. Love you, Dad. And Mom. They're both past, but they're very much a part of our lives. Whoa.
So this is the weekly washing of the feet ceremony.
I know what it goes back to. Many years ago, I got plantar fasciitis with my feet, so they hurt. And then it went away for a while, and then it came back. And I realized when I had plantar fasciitis, and I still have some, that it actually feels really good to put your feet in cold water.
Okay. Mystery explained.
Yes. And I also love living water. I think every time I look at water, it reminds me that Christ is living water. And I remember the women at the well, and Christ said, if you drink of me, you'll have water that you'll never thirst again. Living water and charity.
Living water.
And the same thing. Book of Mormon says the same thing. Oh, there's a dog. Look, Jeff. Baby bear, he likes the water too. Yeah, he needed a drink. He had to drink some of that living water too. Oh. He just had to agree with me. So even the animals agree.
There he goes up the trail.
Pets love this place, I bet.